Fresh threads for a fresh season. Hockey is back, and so are we. And we have our FanDuel 5 most intriguing players from a betting perspective. And Carlo, I don't think there's anyone more intriguing than Mitch Marner in Toronto. He's looking for a new deal, and I think Leaf fans are looking for a huge season from 16.
Yeah, and I'm definitely expecting a big season from Mitch Marner because it's a contract year, and that's what guys do in contracts here. They have big seasons. And look, this shouldn't be something out of the ordinary for Marner. He's used to having big seasons. He's a very important player of this team. His total right now, points total on FanDuel, is 91.5. I'm smashing the over on this because this guy has recorded 90-plus points in 3 of the last 4 seasons. Last year, he had 85 in only 69 games. But given that it's a contract year, he's still going to be playing with one of the best goal scorers in the league, Austin Matthews. He's still going to be playing on one of the best power plays in the league with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And look, this was a very loud summer in Toronto when it came to what Mitch Marner's future is going to be. He's got a lot to prove this season, to prove that he can continue to be that elite guy, continue to lead him to the promised land, and most importantly, continue to prove to people that he deserves his legacy to stay here long-term in Toronto. So because of that, I expect a big year out of him.
I love that. Marner's had 99 points in this season, perhaps his first 100-point season, which you can also find on FanDuel. I'm looking at Steven Stamkos, talking about big contracts. Yeah. The deal he signed in Nashville, 4 years, $8 million per. We know he's coming off a 41-goal season, Carlo. I'm taking his under of 34.5. And I think it's a simple premise in that 19 power play goals last year for Stamkos on that disgusting PP with Kucherov and Point and Hedman. A ton of continuity with Stamkos and that trio. We have no idea what this Nashville power play is going to look like. So many new faces. Marchessault is in the mix as well. And I'm fading Stamkos. I love the guy. Surefire Hall of Famer, 34.5 goals. I just can't buy that at that number.
Seems like there's a lot of mouths to feed over there, especially with Forsberg being the guy on the power play leading it and Yossi running the guy up top. But Stamkos, you talk about a guy that was on top of the news in the offseason, separating from Tampa, which was a surprise to many of us. He's looking for a great start in Nashville with some great players and a team that has a lot of expectations now. So he's going to score. Just wonder how many. But you like the under on this one.
I do like the under. I think it makes a lot of sense to back the under, considering his age, considering the uncertainty, and the power play production, I'm just not sure can be replicated.
An adjustment.
Exactly. Yeah. There could be an adjustment period. The guy was in Tampa for half of his adult life. And now he's in a brand new market with brand new teammates. Let's talk about a young player who you think could take a major step this year. Juraj Slafkovsky in Montreal. You're looking at his 60-plus points this season. That is a market you can find on FanDuel. Why do you like that one?
I like this for many reasons. It provides a ton of value. You can get it at plus 110 and maybe sprinkle 70-plus, plus 310, because Juraj Slafkovsky was a great example last season of a player that had 2 seasons. Really struggled for the first half of the season, but when you look at his second half of the season, especially post-All-Star break, 33 games after the All-Star break, he had 13 goals, 17 assists, 30 points of his 50 on the season came after the All-Star break. When you do a points per game average, that's .91. You do .91 over an 82-game season, that's a 74-point season for Juraj Slafkovsky, who I think last year made tremendous strides, filling into his body, really transforming himself into that big power forward. And I think another year building off of that momentum he carried into the second half of the season with a Montreal team that has a little bit more expectation this year. Maybe not a playoff team, but a full season of Kirby Dach. The addition of Patrick Laine, I know he's hurt a little bit, but he'll be back near the end of the season. But Lane Hutson, the exciting young D-man that I absolutely love, putting him on the power play will make that power play better, will help add to the points that Slafkovsky will get this year.
When Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slafkovsky were together, they were one of the more productive lines in the National Hockey League. I see no reason why that wouldn't be the case again in 2024, 2025. All right, this is a hot take. I will concede. I think it is worth sprinkling on Jack Hughes to win the Hart Trophy at 11-1.
Ahead of McDavid and ahead of McKinnon?
Let's start with the narrative. Do I believe that McDavid, McKinnon, it's more likely that they win the Hart? Yes, I do. But I think there is a path for Hughes to accomplish that feat. Number one, he's an unbelievable offensive player, one of the best in the NHL. Triple-digit points, well within the realm of possibility. But New Jersey is a team that is going to take a massive step from last year. It was a disaster. Everyone was hurt. They couldn't buy a save. They are healthy right now with a new coach and, most importantly, a new goaltender in Markstrom, someone who can make saves.
And improve defense,
Much
too.
improved defense. Dougie Hamilton healthy. They make some additions in free agency. I think there's a lot to this New Jersey team. The path is this. Hughes, well over 100 points. Again, it's possible.
Yeah.
New Jersey has to win the Metro.
He was on that pace last year before he got hurt.
He absolutely was. New Jersey has to win the Metro, and then there's a conversation to be had. Maybe he doesn't beat out McDavid, who could rack up 150 points, or McKinnon, who could also rack up 150 points, or even Austin Matthews, who could score 65. But I think the narrative with Hughes, as opposed to those three who had already won the Hart Trophy, could be something worth betting. I think it's an interesting.
Like it.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, what are the odds on that?
We're looking at 11-1 on Jack Hughes to win the Hart Trophy. Yes, sprinkle the magic pixie dust when it comes to our FanDuel dollars on that. Let's talk about Jeff Skinner, an interesting addition by the Edmonton Oilers. And he wanted to land in Edmonton, leaving Buffalo. He's a quality player, a guy who has had a very successful NHL career. His over-under for goals, 30.5. It's a big number. Which way are you leaning?
It is a big number. I was surprised to see this, too. For a guy that has scored 30 goals 6 times in his 14 years, he has the potential to do it. And I love this spot for Jeff Skinner because he's putting himself in the best position possible to get another contract. And he's doing it with 2 of the best players in the world. But that bus in Edmonton is driven by McDavid, by Draisaitl, and by their power play. You look at their first-line power play, that's not going to include Jeff Skinner on it. It's going to be McDavid. It's going to be Draisaitl. It's going to be Nugent-Hopkins. Zach Hyman scored 54 goals last year, and Evan Bouchard with the bomb in the back end. So he's not going to get those PP minutes. And he's starting this season on the second line with Draisaitl. You would have to imagine during the year they're going to move things back and forth. But 30 goals for a team last year, led by McDavid and Draisaitl, had only 3 30-goal scores. And their next highest scorer was Evander Kane, only at 24.
And I think when you consider the Edmonton Oilers and their power play, it's different than other teams because their PP1 stays out the entire time. So there really is no PP2. It's boom or bust for that power play. And I'm totally with you. That's a big number for Jeff Skinner. And I think it also ties into the idea of Stamkos, right? Brand new surroundings, brand new line mates.
There's going to be an adjustment period in the beginning.
Opportunity. There certainly will. No adjustment period for you and I, buddy. We're back. We're better than ever. It's our FanDuel 5 most intriguing players from a betting perspective ahead of the 2024-2025 NHL regular season.